Hey, this is Chan for Different Skill, bringing you episode 21 for Cards for Thought, and it's been a long run actually. I didn't think that I would have enough cards that I would like to talk about. Although some are kind of half-assed, like the first Jewel Knight Pure Heart Ashley. Although that one kind of has a reason for it. So, anyways, moving on. So now we have a new Jewel Knight. This episode won't be mainly for the English players because of how Jewel Knights will be new soon, I believe. Because someone on YouTube asked me about how to play Jewel Knights in English and if they would be any good. And I kind of said not really because they're just not that strong. So here we have leading Jewel Knight Salome, or Salome, or whatever, I don't know. Sarome is the phonetic of Japanese apparently. So she's a 10k, which is very rare in the world of 11ks, which generally makes her kind of bad. See, the problem with this is that before even getting to her effect, because that's not as important as her base stats. Being a 10k means that most decks can reach 20, and they can like punish you for playing a 10k. Most decks can hit 15 with like super easy rows, and then like they can just play like all their support or like utility cards like Kibnara Berserk Dragon or like Aramo Berserk Dragon, Aramo something Tejas Bar, Tejas a 7K, something like that. So and then it still gets hit for a decent amount, which is a big weakness because as the formats are getting more pushed towards 11Ks all the way, having a 10k is just really bad for you, especially even in like in a mirror match. Like you're gonna have problems because your Vanguard's gonna be 10k, and you can tutor up your 12k attackers with her, and then like if you draw any Marins or Morons or whatever you like to call them, Marins, and then you just start having a bad time. So, without further ado, let's go to her effect. This ability is active only when you have 4 or more damage. When this unit attacks, if the number of rear guards you have of with Jewel Knights and his card name is 4 or more, this unit gets plus 2k and plus 1 critical until the end of that battle. It's a pretty subpar effect, I will agree, because 4 more rear guards is essentially your full field. It's full field minus 1 because you can have 5 total rear guards, which is kind of hard sometimes. I mean, if you're going to play against Eradicators, if you're going to play against like Joker, you might not have 4. It's true. You might just only have 3. Like you might have one shitty row, and then like you just don't want to play something there just so Salome gets plus 2k plus 1 crit, because then she's 12k and 1 crit. It's like, okay, so I'm Majesty Lord Blaster, but only when I attack, and I have a condition for it. So it's just not that amazing. But the other ability is that when you're not in Limit Break, or like you can activate if you're in Limit Break if you want to, but you don't have to be. Um, Activate Counterblast 2 with a special Counterblast 2 Jewel Knights. Search your deck for up to one card with Jewel Knight in its card name and call it to the rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. That's pretty powerful ability, considering you can search out your 12k attackers, and if there is something that I'm missing, I believe that for now, Jewel Knights don't have that much support for it. So essentially, you're always going to get 12k attackers or the 7k that turns into a 10k when it attacks the Vanguard and it's grade one. Um, so it's not too amazing. But for English, leading Jewel Knight Salome is not bad. I mean, if they're expensive, I would say if you really want to play Jewel Knights, play it simply because like they should retain decent value because they are female cards, and female cards often do retain value for no apparent reason. Well, like the reason's kind of apparent, but you guys know what I mean, right? So, overall, this card will not ever be played in Japanese formats after, well, like now, from like now till whenever, because it's just not powerful enough. And for English formats, you guys can play it. It's a good card. It's very solid. It's like an Alfred essentially. You can boost it. It gets a critical. You can search for dudes, but it kind of has the weakness of being a 10k in a format where everything's 11k. So essentially, if you like are in a bad position and you have to go, my Vanguard attacks your Vanguard, no boosts. They can go like guard for 5, and then like that's like perfect guard. So like that it. Well, no, that's for. Is it perfect guard? Guard for 5. No, that's 2 triggers. Yeah, they can guard for 5 and say 2 triggers, or they can guard for 10 for perfect guard. Then you just feel silly. So The 10k really matters a lot because I've noticed because in Nupatama it's kind of hard to hit 15 on your rows if you have Kuroko on the sides. So from that experience, I can say that, and I've also played Jewel Knights before too, and it's kind of fun. I mean, it's very cookie cutter, it's very boring, but at the same time, you get to look at some nice pictures, and then it kind of makes up for it. So yeah, this will be episode 21 of Cards for Thought, and I'll see you guys next week because next week it's Amulet's turn. So see ya.